Hello, this is the Kenyan Siasa. I'm your host Jabali Odawanadawa. The folks of the Kenyan Siasa yesterday, they made it former DP and also the party leader of DCP party, Rigathi Gachagua, held a convention of politicians from the United Opposition and also of politicians in the party of DCP at his Wamunyoro home in Nyeri, the now populous Wamunyoro Center for critical political deliberations with regards to DCP and with regards to the United Opposition. Among the people who were in this delegation was a huge contingent of politicians allied to Kalonzo'S of the Wiper party, among other politicians. In this meeting, Rigathi Gachagua made a groundbreaking statement that he's going to strive hard, he's going to sweat, he's going to bleed to see to it that the United Opposition or the opposition with regards to the 2027 general elections will have a one universal unifying presidential flag bearer who will face it with President William Ruto at the ballot, to make sure to see to it that they make it possible for President William Ruto to be a one-term president, or to see to it that they defeat President William Ruto by marshalling the entire factions of opposition. And based on his coded language, it was conspicuous, it was tangible, it was palpable that his preference for the United Opposition universal flag bearer is most likely Kalonzo'S of Wiper Democratic Party. Though Kalonzo'S wasn't present in that convention, however, the body language, the coded signs that Rigathi sent literally makes it conspicuous that is of Kalonzo'S presidential bid to take center stage in the United Opposition race in their mission to make sure that they defeat President William Ruto. He had a special message for the people of Wiper Party and also the people of the Akamba community, Akamba Nation, by showing his gratitude to them, telling them that he's grateful that during the tough moments when he was just impeached, things were not clear, when his robes had been taken off, the Akamba Nation, Wiper Party, Kalonzo'S came in for him and soldiered the work in the murky paths, boldly, with brotherhood, with him. Hence the emergence of this tag of Kuzo cousins, referring to them as cousins. And he also sent his regards. He told them to pass his special regards to one Kalonzo'S. So it was obvious, it is conspicuous that Kalonzo's preference for the United Opposition universal flag bearer, I beg your pardon, it is obvious, it's conspicuous that Rigathi Gachagua's preference for United Opposition universal flag bearer is Kalonzo'S. Now, this doesn't augur well with the sitting king, President William Ruto. You know it very well, for those of you who are conversant with the Kenyan political streets. With regards to the 2022 general elections, it is the Gamer Nation that made President William Ruto the president. Without the gay emanation, President William Ruto wouldn't have made it. They've got the gay emanation is a huge populous bloc, and it has got the highest percentage with regards to voter registration. Therefore, if they give you their universal and divided support on the ballot, your chances of making it are very, very high or guaranteed. But since the impeachment in the 2024, they've withdrawn themselves from President William Ruto. Therefore, President William Ruto has to go back to the drawing board to strive or try coming up with other avenues that will fill in this void that has been created by the departure of the gay emanation, which he's currently doing. And his hopes have been more on encroaching in the former turf yards of the late Raila Amolo Odinga. But now, you know it very well that Kalonzo Musyoka used to bring a tangible voting block or tangible ballots or votes in Raila's basket. So right now, even if Ruto is projecting on inheriting in the former Raila's turf yard, it is not that complete basket the way it used to be, because Kalonzo had a huge share in whatever Raila used to get. And right now, he's in the united opposition, meaning that we are now deducting the strongholds of Kalonzo Musyoka, that is the Upper Eastern. And Kalonzo Musyoka, apart from the Akamba nation, Kalonzo Musyoka is a universally accepted politician. Therefore, in Raila's basket, apart from his community, there are also other people who are not necessarily Kambas who used to vote for Raila, courtesy of Kalonzo being in a coalition with Raila. Now, that tough yard, even if Raila isn't around right now, it isn't complete the way it used to be, or it isn't huge or lucrative the way it used to be. And again, within this tough yard of Raila Amolo Odinga, a huge populace of people, say even the Luo or even Luyas, who are voting for Raila and are not comfortable with Ruto, they are more likely to be seduced or to go the way of Kalonzo's presidency. Therefore, we are saying that this declaration must make the king, President William Ruto, right now to be a worried man, because a huge populace or a huge chunk of what he's projecting on in Raila's turf yard will already go to Kalonzo Musyoka. Then remember, you know it very well that the gay emanation is also is the leading voting bloc. Now, if Kalonzo has a considerable standing bloc, he will take a certain faction of former Raila's turf yard, blended with the gay emanation. Ruto literally remains with a thinned basket to harvest from. Therefore, right now, President William Ruto must be worried in case these strategies of the united opposition of Rigathi Gachagua and Kalonzo Musyoka, and even say the Sifunas, Babus, Orengos will come under one umbrella. Dear folks of the Kenyan Siasa, we reached the halt of this short session for today. For those of you who are subscribed to our YouTube channel, the Kenyan Siasa, we're humbled, we're glad, thank you. And for those of you who are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, the Kenyan Siasa, we beseech you to show us some love by subscribing, then hit on the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload content. Until next time, Anzbali, Udawa, and Udawa. Bye-bye.